Hello, how are we all doing? Good evening and welcome back to the League 2 Hour with myself and my good friend who's back on X. That's the breaking news this weekend.
Yes.
More important than the fact that we've got a double game week to get through, it's great to have Lee back on that social media platform. I know he doesn't exactly like them at the moment, but he realises, like most of us, that it serves a purpose. How are you, mate? You good?
Yeah, very good, mate. Yes, I come to my senses and saw the light after you nagging me constantly for probably 5 days solid.
Encouraging, I
No,
prefer to call it. Wife
yeah,
nag, I encourage.
yeah.
Yeah,
For
I did
all
nag you
it's
for 5 days
bad.
straight, to be fair.
Yeah, you're back on it. Yeah. Well, for all its bad purposes, I think it is good for the football side of things and to make content, to share your content. You need it.
You do, yeah. It's a cesspit most of the time, let's be quite honest, but it does serve a
Yeah.
purpose. But yeah, 20, I was going to say 24, 23 games to get through because one kicks off at 8 o'clock tonight just as we blow full time, which is MK Dons against Walsall. But yeah, loads to get through. So we're just going to do sort of a vidi printer style this weekend for everyone because we've got lots of games to feature. But as always, evening to everybody. Let's have a look at some comments first and see who we've got with us. Got Simon back in the chat. Evening, Simon. Good evening, gents, and everyone viewing. I'm not talking to Simon. Any Oldham fans?
I had a
Just ignore
feeling
them, not
you'd say.
talking to them. It's going to be hundreds of them tonight, aren't there? Bloody hundreds of them. Me and Nick could be
Yeah,
miserable
Dom's
together.
got to
Evening,
be
Nick.
in it today.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Evening, lads. Looking forward to another hour of League Two chat. Evening, Nick. Good to see you on Saturday, and thank you for looking after me at full time. James Marland, Oldham are back. Oldham are back. Hello, hello. Yeah, move on swiftly. Evening, James. I'm only joking. Who else we got? Who else we got? Troy's back in the chat. Regular viewer now. Evening, Troy. Evening, Matt and Lee. Hope you're all good. Yeah, very well, mate. Just about got over Saturday afternoon. Simon's talking about Oldham again. Brilliant stuff. Chris the Butcher says Fondop took his goal well. Do you want to do this one on your own tonight, mate? Oh dear, it's just Oldham every other comment. Weeks' football finds. Evening, mate. Hope you're good. Yeah, if we can help Weeks' football finds out, he's put a post up on Instagram and on X. He's trying to find the main football anthem / song, which me and Lee have both retweeted for every football club, I think in the 72 or the 92. So if you can find Weeks' football finds on X, go and help him out. Oldham have probably got a few extra after the weekend. Oldham, yeah, another comment. Brilliant. Evening. Evening to Andy.
I've not prepped
Andy
everyone
Walsh
up. I
Footy
promise.
Travels. It's you were drumming up business, weren't you, with the thumbnail as well? Like I said this morning, when I texted you back, I thought we were friends, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Andy Walsh Football
I had to drop
Travel
that in
says,
there.
"Evening. Is this another vlogger? Welcome to the channel, mate. If you've got a YouTube channel and stuff like that, just stick your details in here. I'm assuming it's just what we find the name as, and yeah, we'll check that one out as well. We do like a ground hop. The Abandoned Hunter, which is Smithy by his trade name. Evening, gents, and now I'm off to the Bezza. All the best, Smith. Oh, of course, yeah. Have a good night, mate. Off to the Bescott to watch Walsall in action.
Enjoy.
Mike Gammon says, welcome back to the cesspool of Exley. Correct. Andy is a Salford City fan, still getting over injury time goal resulting in another defeat. At least he was in it till injury time, mate. We were done and dusted after 19 minutes, so... Dale is back. Dale's the Notts County fan. Evening all. Tranmere are the worst team I've seen at Meadow Lane this season. Oh yeah, big win to talk about for Notts County in the week as they at the weekend they bounced back from a setback in the week. Oh, for goodness sake, Simon! If you're not talking about Oldham, you're now talking about Joe Quigley as well. I'll give up. I'm going. See the team who Noel Quinn scored again, 2 goals and an assist in 3 games. Yeah, I don't know why anyone watches. We don't know what we're talking about at all, do we, Lee? Ian Fiocco, up the ticks. Evening, gents. Brilliant. Have you literally invited every single Oldham fan? Have you just like streamed like an Oldham WhatsApp group, sent them the stream, mate? I don't know. You still there, Lee? Right, we're not sure if Lee's signal's actually working at the moment. Simon Bradshaw, I can't believe the game on Saturday, but credit to Matty Hudson. Made a ridiculous save at 2-0 when he was going the wrong way. But yeah, we didn't deserve anything out of the game. What else we got? We've got, hey lads, don't worry, you're not alone in terms of getting stuffed. We Barnet turned in our second worst performance of the season. Yeah, big win for Colchester in that one. Right, let's get into the weekend, midweek fixtures first. Then there was games on Tuesday and Wednesday of last week. So let's have a look at a few of them, and then we will do. Oh, he's back. Hello, he's moving again.
Yeah, it's been because I've gone.
Sounds like it's back hamstring again. Yeah. Mike says, "Broadband bill, Wi-Fi again, Lee." Yeah, we're struggling here, aren't we? Struggling like Gills. Liam says, "Hello, Matt and Lee. What was that goal for Gillingham? What was that for Gillingham? Absolutely poor." Yeah, that's a polite way of put it. Should always advise Lee to buy a better router as well. Yeah. About as flimsy.
Paying the best bill. That's the thing.
It's got a router that's flimsier than Gillingham's centre backs at the weekend, unfortunately. But we move. Andy says he's a very amateur blogger. Andy Walsh Footy Travels on YouTube. We will check that out. Yeah, everybody who likes football are vloggers. Go and have a look. I'm sure we can try and support that as much as we can. Right, mate, last Tuesday, first game was Barnet 1, Swindon 2. A goal by Adam Senior for the Bees was then cancelled out by Ollie Clark's double on 50 and 63 minutes to pick up a decent win on the road for Ian Holloway's men. Still there or thereabouts, haven't they, Swindon? And Barnet have not had a great week, unfortunately. But yeah, Swindon still in and around it.
Yeah, we'll touch on the result come Saturday. I still think they're a little bit inconsistent at the moment.
Draw games, do they at all?
No, I think they lost the weekend before that, and then obviously won that, and then they've lost, which we'll talk about coming up. A little bit inconsistent. I think they're out the top three now because obviously Notts County pumped,
and they played a game extra to all the teams in there as well. But yeah, good win on the road against the Barnet side that have just been sort of threatening just outside the playoff places. But the week they've had, that might be over. Game at Barrow between themselves and Harrogate Town ended 1-0 in the favour of the visitors. We said last week, signs of a pulse. Pulse is getting stronger for Simon Weaver's men. They're within touching distance now at the bottom of the table, aren't they?
It is. They must watch this show, especially Newport and Harrogate, and just think we'll show you, because I think we more or less written both off, didn't we, last week?
Well, we was good to Newport, and then they lost about 4 on the bounce. Then we wrote them off, and they go Salford and win. And yeah, we do the same to Harrogate. I called them the worst team I've ever seen on when we beat them. We're not much better, so.
We've wrote Joe Quidley off, and look what's happening with him.
Yeah, he's turned into R9 in the late 90s at the moment. Absolutely brilliant stuff. So yeah, if you've got a player that's not playing well, tell us about him. We'll slag him off. He'll go on a great goal scoring run for the rest of the season.
Well,
I would do it about the Gills 11, but we only get an hour. So third game in the division was Bromley 1, Cheltenham Town 1. Mitch Pinnock for the Ravens on 4 minutes, but Isaac Hutchinson equalised on 25, and it stayed that way until full time. Bromley still top, but the gap's got a little bit smaller, and that's a really good point on the road for Steve Cottrell's men, mate, who just dropped off in the last few weeks, but they've had a good 7 days. Or
yeah, I'm just about to say that's a fantastic point. They'll be well chuffed with that to go to Bromley. Who a little bit like Swindon. We'll touch on the result as well at the weekend. Seemed to have dipped off a little bit. I think no winning in 4. Obviously 4 draws.
Yeah,
4 draws. Yeah. But no, a fantastic point that at Bromley. I think if you'd asked any Cheltenham fan before the kick-off, they'd have snapped your hand off with that.
Yeah, still unbeaten at Hayes Lane, Bromley. 9 wins, 7 draws. So yeah, phenomenal record. And Cheltenham, who were quite far down who were 21st in the away table. That's a really, really good draw.
Yeah, fantastic.
We then had another draw of the same scoreline between Cambridge United and Colchester United. That finished, 1 each. Goal from Kellen Watts for the home side on 3 minutes, and that was cancelled out by Jack Payne on half an hour. So, another point on the board. We mentioned Colchester last week, the week before, so they just started to lose a few games, and their playoff bid was hitting a bit of a wall. But it's fair to say both of them teams have had a decent 5 days. I think they both picked up 4 points. We'll get to Saturday in a little while. But and Jack Payne coming into some form. Good signs for Cole U and Cambridge, still right in amongst it at the top of the table, aren't they, in terms of not just going up automatically now, but you now say they're in the title picture with the gap down to 2.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's a decent point for Colchester. Obviously, Cambridge has run what they've had. They've only lost at Harrogate, so it's been some run. So I think that's a very good point. But Cambridge, absolutely unbelievable season that Neil Harris is producing, and obviously Bromley's slip-ups. Cambridge are sort of capitalising, and that gap is getting closer and closer.
And then you look at MK Dons. I know we're sort of jumping the gun here and sort of moving between the weekend and last Tuesday. If MK Dons win at Walsall this evening, then it's suddenly it'll be 4 points between the top 5. Yeah. And all of a sudden, you've got a proper title race on your hands. Whereas a few weeks ago, it looked like Bromley were.
It did, yeah.
Not running away with it, but it looked very difficult to reel them in. I mean, they've still got a decent cushion to 4th, but all of a sudden now it looks a bit more competitive again at the top of the table in terms of the title being up for grabs. Yeah,
and we've spoke about Swindon. I think it is all about that consistency now. We're like end of February, we're now coming into March, key period. So, it's going to be interesting, but it's what we absolutely love because we want it to be where there's 5-6 teams that can still probably win the league. I know last season was similar. With Donny ended up winning it. I think that was similar. So it's always interesting, keeps it alive for teams, and the playoff picture is very similar as well. As teams that dropping in and out of the playoffs, as teams picking up good runs and getting themselves back in the picture, like Colchester, they're back. I think now, after obviously we touch on the week, I think there's only 4 points that they're back in it.
Yeah, they are, And like you say, if MK Dons, if they win tonight, then you've got that top 5 teams to just open a gap up then, because then there'd be 8 points from 5th to 6th. But then you've got it concertinaed again, Crewe in 6th down to Grimsby in 11th, even Barnet in 12th is only 6 points. So it keeps that alive. And down at the bottom, dare I say as well now, I think there's only 6 points between the bottom 6 sides. And there's, like we say, there's signs of a pulse with plenty of them at the moment. So, keeps it really interesting. Right, let's do a few more comments. Oh, no, we'll do Chesterfield, Gillingham first. 1, 2, 3. Yes. An early goal from Sam Curtis after 16 minutes essentially won this game for Chesterfield. We played for about 10 minutes either half. Apart from that, offered absolutely nothing. Missed a couple of chances second half, but said at the time, on the long coach back, got to bed at 4 a.m. It was a fairly comfortable 1-0, and you don't usually get many of them. But 3 defeats on the bounce for us now without scoring a goal. Season well and truly over. Chesterfield.
In terms of Chesterfield, I know obviously you'll touch on Gillingham, so I don't want to put the knife in too much, mate, because you'll no doubt dig them out coming up. But in terms of Chesterfield, what did you see enough for them to
be difficult? Because we were so poor that they just they didn't have to get out of third gear. They really didn't. I mean, the goal's so poor. The geezer miss-hits the corner. I mean, if he doesn't, it's really cute, but I think he miss-hits it. And it doesn't even get to the near post. They win the first contact. The ball goes through a load of bodies. Curtis and I think our lad Sam Gale at the back post. It lands right next to both of them. Their players alert, and Sam Gale unfortunately sort of looking around wondering what to do, and he just taps it in from about 3 yards. And like I say, we had a couple of half chances second half, but deserved absolutely nothing. And then we somehow managed to get worse at the weekend as well. And I mean that with the utmost respect to Oldham, but again, they didn't have to get out of second, third gear. They were good at what they did. but they didn't have to be brilliant to beat us, and that's what's frustrating, because I've said it all season. Apart from Bromley, I think I don't think there's a huge deal of difference between them teams in the top half, apart from Bromley, and even they're coming back to the pack now. But we can't look after ourselves, and again, it's just the same old issue: play till October, don't turn up again till March, and that's why we're 16th again.
Yeah, and football's it's an old cliche, but it's all about fundamentals, getting the right stuff right, and that if you get that correct, the other stuff falls into place. If you're not defending as a unit, like you said, that Chesterfield goal, it was poor. 2 players switching off and made it too easy for him. But if you dub that out, get that out of your game, get a clean sheet, it then builds confidence throughout the team. Your strikers then can go and do their job and win the game, because you know that the defence and the keeper are doing their job. So it's like a domino effect. It's just frustrating as a football fan. I think when you travel that far, especially on a Tuesday night, it looked like it would more or less sold out that way, and was it?
I think it was just under 300, which for a Tuesday that far, it was absolutely bitter as well. It was horrible. It was freezing cold. Highlight of the night was the food. So anyone who goes to Chesterfield, if you find the Fat Pig barbecue van outside, they are on Instagram. Absolutely outstanding football scran. Yeah, me and Ava had the skin-on loaded fries. Ava had chicken thigh with garlic mayo, cheese, and pickled red onion, and I had pulled pork, jalapenos, barbecue sauce, and cheese, and it was outstanding. And there was another one, beef brisket as well. And if you was feeling ridiculously hungry, they did a mixture of all 3 for 15 quid, and it was superb. So yeah, big shout out to Fat Pig Barbecue. Outstanding football food. Unfortunately, our performance was anything but. Right, let's do some comments, because otherwise we'll get behind. Simon says, going back to last Tuesday, what a great strike by Kane Drummond. Yep, that is coming up in a couple of games' time, Simon. Yeah, you've had a good week, definitely. Jim, evening, Jim, Barnet fan. Barnet were averaging the first half and appalling in the second. Dean Brennan took off 1 of 3 central midfielders and replaced him with Biggs Hawks, and that cost us the game. Colchester literally ran right. That's Saturday's game, yeah. Yeah, not a result I saw coming. Like I say, Colchester had been a bit in and out. Barnet had been doing okay. So that was, I wouldn't say it's a massive shock, because Colchester are a good side when they get it right, and they put 6 past Chesterfield earlier in the season. But yeah, not one I'd have had as a 4-1 if you'd asked me just before kickoff. James wants to know, Simon, if you are now melon in. Simon says, yes, he is in fact melon in. So is Chris the Butcher. He is melon in as well. Mike says results like that shows how wide open this league is. Yep, absolutely. This is the thing, and I don't think you have to be brilliant to get in the top 7. It makes for exciting football that it's open, and maybe the standard has dropped off a little bit compared to last year, where you had a very good Doncaster side. Bradford went up in 3rd after a really good run. Before that, we've had Stockport and Wrexham. Obviously, we know they're funded really well. Mansfield as well. But yeah, as a Gills fan, it's just super frustrating, because it was a good opportunity again, and unfortunately, too many of this playing group keep letting managers down over and over. Right, Jim's on. Right, that's about Saturday. So right, we'll carry on with these midweek games then, mate. So Crewe Alexander hosted Fleetwood Town, but it was the visitors who come out on top on this one. Another bit of new manager bounce for them since sacking Pete Wild. Mark Helm's strike on 21 minutes won this for the Cod Army, and I do believe they made it. Did they make it 6 points from 6 on Saturday?
They did.
Yes, they did, with a very late winner. We will get to that shortly. Yeah, so Fleetwood back into striking distance of the top half now, which I think is probably where they should be. I think they're a bit lower than they should have been. We've said that all season. So loads of constraints in terms of financially. But yeah, the new manager's got in there. His name escapes me at the moment, but fair play to him. He's doing a decent job at the moment. There's a 0-0 between MK Dons and Crawley Town. I know MK Dons are still scarred by that playoff campaign a couple of years ago, but they probably took the point and ran against the Crawley team that destroyed them 2 years ago. As Simon's already said, Kane Drummond's excellent first-minute strike and a goal from Mike Fondop. Yeah, we'll talk about him again in a little while. helped Oldham see off Bristol Rovers. So Oldham was another team that picked up 6 points from Tuesday to Saturday. And after a bit of a tricky run, they've just got themselves back on the winning horse again, haven't they, mate?
Yeah, they needed it because I think they were in a sticky period. But it must be frustrating as well for Oldham fans because they can show what they're capable of and that they can beat teams. Obviously, Bristol Rovers, yeah, they're struggling, but I think they're still a tough side to beat. Gills going away, regardless of how you're playing, I think it's still a tough place to go, and to get the result that they have, it's been a fantastic week for them. But it does show what they can do. I don't know whether they've had personnel.
5 goals in the week as well, which is really good for them, isn't it? Because they don't score loads. I think so. If you take it before Saturday, they'd only scored 29 in 29 games. They're now up to going over a goal a game, and with that defensive record, gives them a chance of creeping into the top half before the season's end if they can continue that form.
Yeah, which again we've echoed so many times. I think it's a brilliant first season back in League Two, stabilises, and they then can kick on with recruitment and look to strive on to the playoffs.
Yeah, and just to reiterate what you said, James says absolutely. Gills on paper look a good team. Yeah, if only it was played on paper, mate, because we're absolutely terrible on grass at the moment, unfortunately. But fair play to Oldham. You can only beat what's in front of you. I know it's another cliche. Mike says maybe we could visit the gym and get in the weights room at Oldham. Some beasts in that side with Fondop, Daniels and Monte. Yeah, Daniels and Monte were really, really solid. I think every time the ball came into their box, generally, they sort of won most first contacts. I know we had that spell, probably some sort of 30 to 45 minutes, but by then the game had already gone, so it didn't really matter too much. And Fondop was an absolute tank up front. Absolutely embarrassed Omar Beckles and Travis Ackermere, and he's one that I actually had as a dark horse for top scorer start of the season. I know he's not played as much as he's wanted, but he's got 2 in a week now, I think, as well.
Yeah, from your clips I watched your vlog today, he looked like you're a nuisance and causing all sorts of problems. I think that's what
I said on the review. He was everything that a target man you want to do. He's everything we want our target man to do. I know Sam Vokes isn't quick and Josh Andrews isn't that quick, but in terms of just being an absolute pest, chasing down absolutely everything. Like, I think there's a clip in the Match Day Live where Beckles waits for it and stoops to try and edit, and Fondop pinches it off him because he's alert and he wants it a bit more. And that was just the story of the game. We were so second best all over the park, and I don't want to take away anything from Oldham, but we were rank bad. For us, apart from 15 minutes when we had already gone 2-0 down, but credit to Oldham, fair play to them, absolutely turned us over and done a job on us. Right, we'll whiz through the last of the midweek games. There was a good win for Newport County at the Peninsula Stadium. They went to Salford and won by the tune of 3-1. Goals from Ryan Delaney, Ben Lloyd and Nathaniel Opoku put them 3-0 in front before Ben Woodburn's injury time consolation for Carl Robinson's men. Another side who are having a bit of a sticky patch at the moment, and Salford have dropped out of the playoff places. Big win for Shrewsbury, who definitely had new manager bounce since replacing Michael Appleton. They beat Notts County by 1-0 thanks to Tyler Perry. Tranmere lost 1-0 at home to Accrington Stanley in a game that had 2 red cards and a goal in the second half. The winner came from Paddy Mannon on 48 minutes. There was a red card for Luke Butterfield after 63. And a second red card for Stanley. Josh Woods went in 95th minute, but didn't have any impact on the result as Accrington Stanley continue to punch well above their weight. They are top of the bottom half at the moment with a game in hand. If they won that, they'd be 4 points off of 7th place Chesterfield.
Remarkable. And a lot of...
this is just we should just call this the episode that makes Matt look stupid.
I think
someone might say I am anyway, because I go and watch Gills every week. But
I think in general with Accrington, I think they've proved a lot of people wrong. Everyone had them to be struggling in this division this year. It started out like that, but results have come, and you've got to give them every credit to be in the situation and the position that they're in. I think they'd be amazed that they're happy to be finishing where they are now, to be honest. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. But why not dream? Why not playing well, relatively
Yeah.
playing well. They don't concede loads. You'd probably say the only thing that holds them back is they don't score enough goals like Oldham. They've only scored 36, but like you said, momentum and all that type of thing is a funny old thing. And if they can get on a little run, you never know, do you? And fair play to them because, yeah, I think we had them. I think everybody had them to struggle at the bottom. And the final game, which was played on Wednesday after Grimsby's FA Cup exploits the weekend before, they hosted Walsall and it finished 2-2 at Blundell Park on what can only be described as a classic 1980s or 1990s surface. Fair play to the ground staff getting that on, but that pitch looked bloody awful. It was like a farmyard, wasn't it? Andy Cook at the double, though, 50 and 68 minutes, but there were goals for Walsall from Priestley Farquharson and Aaron Presley in between a Miles Roberts red card as Matt Sadler's men picked up a good point on the road despite playing a half with 10 men. Point probably no good to either side there, was it, mate?
No. But then on reflection, obviously two teams that are striving for it. So it was a tough game for both sides. Grimsby did pick up. He seems to have stuttered again of late. And then Walsall, I think, just Walsall, I just bang up against it again, aren't they?
Dropped to 9th now, haven't they? I know they've got a couple of games in hand over some of those above them, but the form's gone right the other way again, hasn't it? So, but then the result tonight, if they can go and beat MK Dons tonight, they get back on it, and then it might ignite them again. But
yeah, I was just about to say tonight's massive.
If you had a fiver spare to put on them, saying yes or no to getting in the playoffs, are we still staying no?
I'd say no.
Congratulations on 3 points tonight, then, Walsall. Here we go. It starts again. Sorry, MK Dons, have just ruined your evening.
Sorry,
Someone else reminded me that Teemu Quinn scored at the weekend. Yes, that's going to actually be his name now. When someone says Joe Quigley, I won't have a clue who it is. Teemu Quinn sounds like a really bad Marvel character.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Mike says he was more than a nuisance. He manhandled our boys but yeah, he did. Absolutely dominated them. I said on the I used the headline for the match day review. Was it bullied, beaten, and maybe broken? Yeah, he absolutely destroyed us, in fairness to me. I probably did him a disservice when I said he was a nuisance. James is making me feel a little better. He says he had Accrington to go down. So, yeah, thank you, James, for making me feel a little bit better. Right, shall we move on to Saturday? Over 30 if you're watching in the chat now, which is absolutely brilliant. You know what to do. You know the drill. We don't have to say it, but we will say it. Please press like. Please press subscribe if you're new to both channels, myself and Around the Grounds. Lee, incredible content. I say this every week, up and down the country. EFL, non-league. Still need to watch his latest £20 challenge. Going to have a look at that either tonight or tomorrow because I love them episodes. Yeah. Full programme Saturday. Not a full programme. We've already said that. 11 games Saturday to get through, mate. And we start off with a crazy game at Highbury between Fleetwood and Barrow, which finished 3-2 in favour of the home side. Barrow were 2-0 up in this. Josh Gordon penalty after 12 minutes and a Noel Canavan strike after 34 had Dino Marmia's team in full control, but Fleetwood came roaring back second half. Asapa Osong, Crispin McLean and a Will Stanway own goal on 94 minutes turned the game around as Fleetwood came from behind to win 3-2. Crispin McLean, that's got to be one of the most middle-class football names I've ever seen. Crispin?
How's it spelled? Crispin as in crisp?
Crispin. Crispin.
Crispin,
you've overdone your chips.
Yeah.
There's too much
quite regular
on my chips. They're all right if they're crisping. It's when they go hollow. That's when you've got problems. But yeah, remarkable turnaround for Fleetwood. A 6-point week for them.
Yeah, unbelievable. Like, obviously, to go 2 down. And yeah, he's getting a bit of a reaction and a bit of a kick out. And we've said on Fleetwood, I think it's been a frustrating season for them. I think they had aspirations to be in and around that playoffs. I don't think they'd have probably said a top 3. I think playoffs would have been the goal this season. So to be obviously struggling and being down in that lower half of the table, it'd have been frustrating. But yeah, results have come in, and yeah, they seem to be showing a little bit of signs of life. Like you said, two good results. It always shows good character in your players as well when they do go 2 down, that they're showing fight and coming back to get a win as well.
Exactly that, yeah. And like you say, they're certainly playing for the new manager, so fair play to them. And gets them up to 14th again now. And like we said with Accrington and Oldham, within striking distance of the top half again. Swindon and Crewe, teams that had played in the week. Swindon had won in the week, Crewe had lost. But yeah, it was Crewe who picked up 3 points in this one. Goals from Mattis Holicek in first half injury time and Josh March just after 50 minutes saw them go 2-0 up. But Michael Olakigbe, this is one of yours. Michael Olakigbe pulled one back on 64 minutes to Ian Holloway.
I am glad you've got that.
It proved to be no more than a consolation in the end as Crewe continue to stay in the playoff places, but still a gap of 8 points, like we said, to Swindon in 4th. So still a bit to do if they want to get on the coattails of them top 3. But yeah, big win for Crewe after a setback in the week when they lost at home to Fleetwood.
Yeah, 100%. It's always about how you bounce back. We just spoke about Swindon. That inconsistency obviously pushes them out of the top 3. Loss, win, loss. A little bit frustration obviously with Cambridge and Notts County going really, really well. You don't want to be in the playoffs, especially when you've been in that top 3 for so long. But yeah, credit to Crewe. It's a fantastic win on the road, and I think their aim is just to secure that playoff spot. I don't think they'll be bothered where they finish in that playoff positioning. I think it's all about getting in it, and at the moment they are in it, and they've just got to keep winning football games and getting them playoffs.
That's it, because you know once you're in there, you're going to play a good side. That's why they're in the playoffs. You're not going to be playing a poor side, are you? So I don't think it matters. The only advantage you can get in certain scenarios is if whether you get home leg first or. But I'm always of the thing you play. I'd always prefer to be away first up. I don't know about you. If I was a manager, I'd want to go away first leg. You can stay in the tie and then bring it back to your place. I think that's probably.
Yeah,
I've seen Gills getting 3 playoff campaigns and they've been away in the first leg every single time, and they've got to Wembley on 3 occasions out of 3.
Yeah, especially if you can even go away and in that first leg, just say you get beat 1-0, it's still something that you can go back home and obviously get the place rocking. Because 9 times out of 10, it's going to be on a night. It's always that special atmosphere. So yeah, I personally always want to be at home second leg, because it's if you
you know what you've got to do, don't you? You just know what you've got to do. It's a one-off tie, then you just know what the job is.
And if you say you're at home on the first leg and you don't take a bigger lead, it then becomes even more nerve-wracking. It's just an absolute nightmare. I remember when we did get into the playoff final Wednesday, we beat Brighton, but my God, I had to go for walks. Watching on tele, I just couldn't cope because they were just absolutely bombarding us. Eventually got it over the line.
Playoffs are great if you can guarantee that you go up, but apart from that, they just make you feel sick, don't they? In other news, that 2005 Argentina away shirt I see on the wall.
It is, mate, yeah.
Good looking fella sold you that, I heard.
I was just about to say, you sold me that.
I was building it up and you just ruined it. I've got to cheer myself up tonight. I've been battered from pillar to post. Very nice, that. Yeah, right, we'll do a couple more comments. What we got? Her father didn't like me, says the wheels fell off at Barrow. Yeah, very much so. No team should be throwing a 2-0 lead away. Great if you're the one that comes back from behind to win, but can't be fun if you're 2-0 up in half hour and get beat. And Mike says, you're doing all right with some of these names. I think I'd have an aneurysm try. I butchered that one, but to be fair, I'm like an Olympian compared to Lee trying to say him, to be quite fair.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, someone's obviously sent a message about him. Thanks, mate. Michael Olakigbe. There we go. Whee! He's on loan at Swindon from Brentford. Apparently, his mother runs the pro football academy in the area he grew up in. There you go. There's a little side note. We do like a little side story.
Michael Olakigbe.
There we go. Michael Olakigbe. Bosh.
It's a tongue. It's Michael Olakigbe. It's the Michael that does you as well.
Yeah, it don't really go with the surname, does it?
No. I mean, it's his name.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. It's a great name. Call him what you like if you score him regularly and all, can't you? So, right, where did we get to? Accrington Stanley, we've been bigging them up, but they went down by 2-0 at the Wham Stadium as Shrewsbury continued their recent revival with a 2-0 win. Ian Morgan on 1 minute and Luca Hall on 48 saw the Salop win by 2-0. And yeah, they are certainly picking up now. They're up to 18th now, Lee. Shrewsbury, some 9 points away from the bottom two, which I think a few weeks ago under Appleton, we had them as in banging trouble.
Yeah, it looked really grim for them. I know.
They've won 4 on the bounce. Blimey, I didn't realise it was that good. Yeah, 4 on the spin. They've won Accrington, Notts County, Swindon and Barrow. He's gone again.
First time that they've done that in 3 years.
We lost you there for a minute, mate. Sorry, we lost you for a sec. Start again. No, we've lost him there. So we'll carry on. There was a big win for Bristol Rovers as Steve Evans' side picked up 3 points in their battle against a drop. Goals from Kofi Barmer, Joe Quigley and Yusuf Hakamrook. There's another one. They're trying to kill us tonight on here. Helped the gas to the 3 points. Andy Cook notched Grimsby's goal on 38 minutes, but it wasn't to be for Dave Artell's men as their recent good run came to a shuddering halt. Yeah, Bristol Rovers picking up a little bit. They're up to 20th, and the gap to the bottom two is now 4 points. Are you back again?
Back again. I've put a quick.
You left me again. You left me alone again with another horrible name. I had to say Yusuf Hakamrook.
That's probably why I did one.
saw it and thought, right, I'll turn the wife on. Absolutely brilliant. Thanks, mate. Yes, so we spoke
about Shrewsbury before they... Yeah, I'll go on Shrewsbury. Their 4 wins in a row is the first time they've done it in 3 years.
Fair play to them, because they've become a football club that's just used to losing football matches. Yeah, so they've got real daylight now. They should have enough to be safe, I think. God, can you imagine if they finish above Gills? That'd be unbearable. Can you imagine how many Gareth Ainsworth gifts I'll get sent?
Oh my God, yeah, I forgot about that. I was wondering where you were going with that, but yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Oh my. Right, we've done Bristol Rovers Grimsby. Then there was also another mad 3-2 game at Wadden Road. Cheltenham versus Salford City. Salford took the lead after 6 minutes thanks to George Grant. There was then a red card for Luke Garbutt on 48 minutes with his side still leading. Isaac Hutchinson drew Cheltenham level from the penalty spot on 51 minutes. 10-man Salford then took the lead through Zach Orr on 76. But goals from Harry Ashford and George Miller on 84 and 96 minutes respectively saw Steve Cotterill's men turn it around in the final few minutes of the game to win 3-2. And they're up to 35 points as well now. So you'd say they're not too far away from being safe. Whereas Salford picked up no points over this game week.
Yeah, Salford are having a real wobble again, aren't they? Seem to do this every single year,
don't they?
Yeah, they go really well. I think this is now 3 losses in a row, which is quite worrying. Obviously 4 with a cup as well, but yeah,
and then before that really they beat Tranmere and Bristol Rovers, but lost to Chesterfield as well. So yeah, it's 3 in a row.
Yeah.
5 from the last 6.
Yeah, so it is worrying. Obviously, it seems to happen every year. I thought with Salford they were looking the real deal this year, going really, really well in that top 3 at one period, but just shows, doesn't it? Bad run.
Still got games in hand, in fairness to them. They've only played 31, so they do have. They've got 2 games in hand over Chesterfield in 7th and 3 on Crewe in 6th. So, and 3 on Swindon in in fourth. So there is, I know there's quite a big gap there, but yeah, they do still have games in hand. But like we said last week, you're getting to the stage of the season now where you'd rather have points on the board, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and to be honest, you don't really want an influx of too many games at once, especially at this period, because then if you are in the
6 as well,
yeah, if you then becoming you're in playoffs, it's like becomes a really you're playing a lot of bloody football. But yeah, credit to Cheltenham, 96th minute winner, good celebrations as well. I think their first win since January, so yeah, good win that.
Yeah, they've been struggling, haven't they? They definitely had that sort of pick up when Cotterell came in, and then they've had a tricky run for quite a while. Yeah, just having a look at their games now. Yeah, drawn the 2 previously. To be fair, good draws against Bromley and Barnet. But yeah, before that, lost to MK Dons, lost to Accrington, lost at home to Grimsby, lost at Oldham. Yeah, last league win was the 4th of January when they beat Crawley by 3-0. So certainly a 3 points that was needed.
Yeah, I knew it was January. I didn't realise it was that far back. So yeah, it's
long time.
Very much
needed indeed. Right, what we got? Who's got some comments? Still 25 you're watching, which is brilliant. Keep smashing that like button if you can. Oh, we've done that one. What we got here? James says, tell you what, that was a special day at Wembley, Lee, with us lot, wasn't it, mate? We looked down and out. Is that talking about the Oldham final you went to?
Yeah. Yeah, very good day, mate.
Mike says, from a Gills perspective, all this chat of crew and playoffs makes a result against them even more frustrating, despite being the better. So, yeah, and that's, again, same old issues, isn't it, Mike? Played well, didn't take our chances, got punished when we switched off from a set play. Story of our season, certainly in recent weeks and months. Nick's another one who suggested we need to start a crowdfunder for Lee's Wi-Fi, as it's as reliable as Gillingham's backline. It's not that bad, mate. Come on. I mean, it's been working for at least some of the
games. Yeah, don't put me on the same
Got to laugh at you, otherwise you cry.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Aaron, the Grimsby fans back in the chat. Evening, Aaron, and he's just dropped a bit of a bombshell. Rumours linking Dave Artell to the Exeter job. Hope it's rubbish. Who's left Exeter? Was that Cordwell? Gary Cordwell? Was he their manager?
Oh, shit. Yeah, he has, yeah. I'm just thinking because Exeter have gone pretty well this season. But yeah, he's gone to Wigan, hasn't he?
Oh, yes, that's where he's gone because they sat there. Who was their manager? It was the old... Was it Ryan Lowe?
It was Ryan Lowe, yeah.
Oh, interesting. One to keep an eye on. And yeah, that'd certainly be a spanner in the works for Grimsby because, I say, aside from the defeat at the weekend, which we'll get to. Oh, no, we've already done when Lee was having Wi-Fi issues. Yeah, they've been on a decent run, Grimsby. 11th at the moment, 3-4 points outside the playoffs with a game in hand. So, yeah, that could be a big blow. So, something to keep an eye on over the next week or so, I'd imagine. Right. Colchester against Barnet, mate. We've already mentioned this one in passing. I know Jim made a comment about it as well, said Colchester were good value. This was 1-1 at half-time, which makes it even more staggering that it finished 4-1. Arthur Reed had put Cole in front on 39 minutes, but, here's another one. Namdi Offerbor equalised for the Bees in injury time at the end of the first half. And then with 15 minutes to go, Jack Payne said, hold my beer. 75th, 77th and 94th minute, second hat-trick of the season for the diminutive maestro, who is pretty much a fan favourite at Colchester. Saw them run out comfortable winners in the end. Yeah, huge win for Cole, like you said already. Just getting themselves back on the coattails of them playoff places with a game in hand.
Yeah, like you just said, it was just the Jack Payne show. Big win. I think his second goal, I think he's takes it really well, the pick of the hat-trick. But yeah, 4 points off the playoffs. Primed and ready on the coattails. Like I said,
3 of their next 5 are against Salford, Chesterfield and MK Dons, and then they go to Bromley, and then they're at home to Walsall. Their next 7, I'm not saying tells you where they end up, but yeah, could certainly go a long way to defining where their season goes, yeah.
Not
Salford at
bad
home
though,
this
is it?
weekend.
To be playing those teams in around you.
You know what you're doing. You're taking points off of them as well as picking up yourself, aren't you? Yeah, they almost become 6-pointers at this stage of the season.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that
And
Bromley
even
one
to
could be
play
tasty on the 21st of March if they're right in it, Colchester.
is that at Collier or is that at Bromley?
It's at Bromley. So they've got Salford, Crawley, Walsall at home up to the end of March, and then they go to Bromley, go to MK, go to Newport, and go to Chesterfield. So there's some mouth-watering ties in there for Colchester United. So I know Ryan in our WhatsApp group said a week or so ago that he thought the playoffs were over, but I don't think the playoffs are over. I know they've not won loads recently and they've lost a few, but it is only one defeat in their last 4. But then it's 3 in the last 6, but then 3 in 8. So again, yeah, just need to find a bit of consistency again, because over the last few games they've gone win, lose, win, draw, win. So certainly a team to keep an eye on, Colchester, I think, as are a lot of them teams that they're going to be playing in the next few weeks. So yeah, they could have a big say on the playoff pitch up, even if they don't end up in there themselves.
Yeah, to be 4 points off and to be playing them team, I think it's perfect. It's what you want. It's in your hands. You know what you've got to do. If you beat them, you obviously, I think Chesterfield, you beat them, you're taking the spot basically, aren't you? They always
absolutely. Yeah, if that's their next game, yeah. So if they win that, they'd go on to 52. So yeah, so they'd be a point behind, and then they'd still have that game in hand over Chesterfield. Yeah. So yeah, they're right in it. And they'd then be within touching distance of Crewe and have games in hand on them still as well, 1 or 2 games in hand on them. So yeah, Colchester are banging it.
Yeah, and the quick going forward, capable of scoring goals, and they're coming into that period now of the season where it is the business end of the season. It's a cliche, but it's true. It's what football fans thrive on and football managers thrive on. You're in a perfect position to have a go at it.
Absolutely, and that's why we love it. That's why we prefer this type of football to what you get at the top end of the game. Right, Crawley 1, Chesterfield 1 was played out in Sussex. Liam Mandeville thought he'd won it for the Spyrites with his strike on 39 minutes, but Jay Williams had other ideas, slamming home a 95th minute equaliser for Scott Lindsay's men as they continue to just about stay above the dreaded line. 2 points in front of Harrogate in 23rd. Played the same games. Just doing enough at the moment, aren't they, Crawley?
Just, but then you'd worry with, obviously, Harrogate and Newport picking up results. You have to pick up results because you can't rely on other sides, unfortunately, because teams are going to pick up results in this league. We wrote them off. I thought them two were dead and buried, if I'm honest, but they've proved us both wrong. So Crawley,
do you think they're almost 2 bonus points for Crawley, though? Because no one would have expected them to take anything off MK Dons or Chesterfield. So in a way, you could almost say that them draws are almost like wins.
Yeah, but again, I think it shows this league that no fixture is a gimme. No. Teams have got points to play for different reasons, whether it's relegation, playoffs, or your top 3. I think even them in the mid-table just want to. It's difference to finishing a top half or a bottom half. Reflection on a good or bad season. So everyone's really got something to play for, and that's what's brilliant. You can't, you can't look at a fixture and think it's a gimme. Like to pick a result out for me, especially this weekend. I think I had a couple where I thought these teams were going to win. Both of them didn't. So that's the beauty of this league too. It's just so unpredictable this season.
It is crazy. Like you say, there's some mental results turn up every single week. We went for a spell, didn't we? There was like a mad 3-all, it felt like, every Saturday. Next game was in Kent. One team scored 3, the other one didn't. Can we move on?
No, we'll touch on this one very deep.
Thank you very much. Julian Neal, Oldham Athletic 3. Goals from Callum Kavanagh and Emmanuel Monte inside 20 minutes put the Athletics firmly in control. As I've already said, Gills had a little spell from probably around half an hour to half time, but didn't take their chances. To be fair, Matt Hudson made a ridiculous save at 2-0 from Armani Little's deflected shot. It's going the wrong way. To get back and get a right hand on that. Daki had a few chances. Said in his post-match he should have done better with some of them. I think he had one where he sort of scuffed it from the middle of the penalty spot. That goes in again. It's a different game. But Michael Fondop scored his second in 5 days to seal the points from Mickey Mellon's men on 78 minutes as they ran out very comfortable and deserving winners. Gills' season, if it isn't already, well, it has. It's just come to an absolute grinding halt, unfortunately. Lost 3 on the bounce, haven't scored in any of them. Conceded 5 goals. I'd say probably 4 of them are avoidable. All right, the Fondop one at the end, you're chasing the game, so you're going to be open. But the other 4 are absolutely appalling from a defensive standpoint.
Have you seen a difference? Obviously, the result midweek, 1-0. You can sometimes accept it. Yeah, the defensive and not great, but to get pumped 3-0, is there a drop off massively compared to a couple of weeks back where you was in games and it was just a case of you weren't taking chances? Has there been a decline, or?
I think there's been a decline since we've tried to be more open and play a 4-3-3. But it's become more vast in the last few weeks. I mean, in our last 3 home games, we've now conceded 8 goals. We beat Tranmere, but we went 2-0 up and then sat on it and nearly got caught out. All right, we got scored by Bromley. Bromley at the top of the league. You can swallow that to a degree, but we were ranked for 17 minutes in the first half and conceded 3 times. And then you don't learn. You do the same again. And no disrespect to Oldham, they're not anywhere near Bromley's level.
No.
But like I said earlier, you can only beat what's in front of you. It's not Oldham's fault that we're absolute crap all the time at the moment. But like I said earlier, it was a comfortable 1-0 for Chesterfield as well. Like they had chances second half to extend the lead. I think they had one flashed across the box. There's a couple of chances. One Morris saved, I think. They got into loads of good areas. We're just a complete recipe for disaster at the moment. We're just not good enough in both penalty areas. We miss chances when we create them. All right, we're creating more, and I think keepers have made good saves against us. And like we said about Hudson on Saturday, if one of them chances goes in for Daki, could be a different game. But we can't keep relying on could be. We can't keep saying, oh, well, we created enough chances. If you defend as badly as that in the first 20 minutes and you're 2-0 down, you're not going to win football matches. And that's why we're 16th, because we're a bang average League 2 side. We really are, aside from 1 or 2. The rest. Yeah. And we've got our Gills in the Pub episode being recorded tomorrow. So obviously the subject of players out of contract is going to come up. But I've said it over and over. We can't keep sacking managers because so many of this playing group have proven beyond any reasonable doubt now that they just keep chucking gaffers under the bus. We've said it last season before, up to October, top of the league, second, playing well. We don't turn up. As soon as it starts getting cold and the clocks go back, we're awful. We've won 6 out of our first 9. We've won 10 all season, mate. That's where we're at. We've won 4 out of our last 23 games. It's appalling. Yeah. It's relegation form.
Yeah, and if you'd not had a decent start to the season, you'd have been banging up against.
Bang in trouble. But we can't sack Ainsworth because look what happened this time last year. Ainsworth came in middle of March. Players pick up. We go 9 unbeaten at the end of the season. He falls for it, gives them all new contracts. They've done exactly the same to him as they've done to Bonner. They've done to Arias. They've done to Clements. Just horrible, horrible, vicious cycle that we need to get out of. And I'm so glad that there's so many out of a contract this summer because we've got a great chance. Clean slate. There's very few, not to ruin the show that's coming up later in the week, that I'd renew. And then if Ainsworth gets it wrong next season, it's on no one but Ainsworth. And then he dies on that sword. But there's so many factors at the moment that you can say that's not on him. All right, he maybe shouldn't have fallen for so many and given them contracts, but he did. And that's where we are. But they've let down 3-4 managers now. And it's time for a lot of them to be moved on.
Yeah, and I think he'll know that. I think he'll know now the issues, the players that he can really, really trust that are not performing. It's like you say, it's been 3-4 seasons that these players are just doing the same thing. Having a decent little start, getting a contract, and then they're just tossing it off, basically.
Exactly. And I don't like questioning players' integrity and whether they're trying. But when you're asking the same questions of plenty of the same group over and over, season after season, no smoke without fire, I don't think.
No, 100%. And as an old cliche with a football fan, you can accept losing, just have a go and put effort in. It's when you know for a fact that players are just tossing it off and not performing to the standards. German Gills, I think he summed it up really well. Basically, you're wearing the Gillingham shirt, you're playing for the badge, play like you mean it, and you can clearly see that they're not.
Exactly. And Daki mentioned it in his post-match, and he was very good because obviously he's not going to chuck his teammates under the bus. But he said anyone can have a bad day with the ball, but it's unforgivable if you had a bad day without the football, because that means you're just not running, you're not pressing, you're not tackling, you're not doing the basics right. And he said, him included, we've all got to look in the mirror because we let the manager down, we let the fans down. He said, Gills fans don't expect loads. We don't expect pretty football, ticky-tacky stuff, 1,000 passes, score the best goals, score the most goals. We've always been built on a bit of grit, a bit of bloody hard work, and people that, not to what you've said, that play for the badge on the front and not just the name on the back. And we've got too many, I fear, that are playing for the name on the back at the moment.
Yeah, fans can accept you're going to lose football matches. You're in the division because you're in the division. If you win every game, you'll be in the Premier League, and we won't be having this conversation. Fans accept that it's part and parcel of football. It's just when players are just not making effort, they're getting paid. I don't know what you're paying them there, but
more than us that spend thousands of pounds a season going to watch them.
You've just basically said what I was going to say. A lot of them in that stand will give half a chance to do and be in that position that they're in. I know it's easy for us to say it as fans because we pay the money, but just effort. That's all you want as a fan. Effort and look like you love playing for the club.
That's right. And if you get beat by a better team, you get beat by a better team. We can all understand that. Like you say, it happens because there's only 3 results possible in every game, and some win, some lose. So anyway, Lee is available for therapy sessions. I think it's £25 an hour that he charges. I'll drop his number into. No, I won't really. I'm only joking.
Mate, trust me, the seasons I have had with my club.
Lee's a Sheffield Wednesday fan. Maybe I should give him therapy.
You just have to sometimes take a step back and think, things will get better, mate. Trust me.
I think we're the 2 fans that there's always next season was made for, I think. Anyway, James wants to know if we can see a surprise package getting into the playoffs. Simon says he thinks if it wasn't for loads of draws, it would be Oldham. Yeah, that's a good shout. They've dropped too many games. Excuse me. I mean, where do we say is a surprise package now? I mean, I think you're only probably going from Accrington upwards.
Let me just get this league table up. Yeah.
I suppose the biggest surprise, I think, to try and not be boring, but I'm going to be, the biggest surprise if you look at that table now, for someone to come out the bottom half would have to be Accrington, based on the size of the club and the infrastructure and the budget. They would be a surprise if they got in the playoffs. But it'd be bloody romantic, and it'd be a big 2 fingers up to a lot of us that have said they're going to go down. So I'm going to say Accrington. Not saying they're definitely going to get in there, but I think that's the best candidate for a surprise package to gate crash the top 7.
Yeah, you'd say for that romantic side. Do I see it happening? Possibly not.
Maybe not.
If he wants a team, I'll put my neck on Accrington, because the others, I think, are talked about in terms of being in that playoff picture. whether it
Yeah,
be
they
now
have been
or
all season as well. Yeah,
all season. So, I mean, Fleetwood, I can't see them. Obviously, 44, that is a tall order. So, yeah, Accrington, I think, would be it'd be the story because, like I said, I know I didn't do my predictions, but I would have had them in that bottom to be relegated this season.
you know, John Doolan's done a fantastic job. We've said before they're so clever with their loan market and finding people from non-league as well. So, fair play to everyone associated with Stanley. Blimey. Harrogate 0, Bromley 0 was another game. Bromley still top of the league. Harrogate pick up another point in their fight against the drop, but Bromley's lead at the top has been cut to 2 points. Newport County, after winning in the week, got beaten 2-0 at home to Cambridge United. Goals from Liam Bennett and Sully Kaikai kept Cambridge hot on the heels of the league leaders. And Notts County, it's fair to say, mate, absolutely dismantled Tranmere Rovers to the tune of 5-0. Jason Lowe opened the scoring on 15 minutes for Notts County. Unfortunately, he's a Tranmere player. There was a Leon Love double on 46 and 55 minutes, and further goals from Jody Jones and Matt Dennis late on from the spot saw Martin Patterson's men return to winning ways, and they go back into the top 3. MK Dons against Walsall has just kicked off. So we'll just quickly go through the lineups in that one for anyone that's interested. Obviously, Walsall got different goalkeeper tonight, haven't they, because of their keeper getting sent off last week. So their team is Hornby in goal, a back 3 of Farquharson, Flint and Lapata. It's then Clark, Comley, Lakin and Obeke as a 4. And then they've got Patterson and Carnu supporting Presley. MK Dons, McGillivray in goal, similar system, back 3 of Offord, Nelson and Ekpateta. It's then Geffin Jones, Gilby, Kelly and Mellish as a 4. And then it's Ben Wild supporting a front 2. That's an odd front 2. Hepburn, Murphy and Dan Crowley. Where the hell are all their strikers?
Patterson,
So they must be injuries to Patterson and Collins because they're not even involved. The only substitute out-and-out striker they've got is Scott Hogan. Other attacking options from the bench are Aaron Lemaine and Jonathan Lecco. So, yeah, interesting lineup for MK Dons. A 3-4-1-2, they've got it on the app I have. But, yeah, it could be that Wiles and Crowley plays 10s and Hepburn Murphy is almost like a false 9. But, yeah, that game's about 2.5 minutes in.
Yeah, I think Patterson got
9 passes so far.
Just the 9.
Just the 9 passes. Cool, blimey. That's another hour that's absolutely flown by. Nat says, congratulations, Lee, up the Owls. I think she's maybe saying well done on getting back onto Twitter. Mike says, last Saturday is the first time he'd left the Gills game early. Yeah, I wish I had, mate, after what happened at the end, but that's for another day. Mr. T. Pim says, evening, everybody. Sorry I'm late. Hope everyone is good. Yes, mate, very well. Thank you. Good to see you in the chat. Nick says he's been saying there's always next season about the Gills since 1963.
Yeah.
Know that feeling. Well, I don't know that feeling, but I'd imagine I will do soon. Has there been a goal? Someone's just put MK and loads of exclamation marks. I've got nothing up on the app that I'm using, though. Let us know, people. And Sheffield Mick says, evening. Nice of you to join us, mate. Appreciate you jumping in, even though you're late. So support is always appreciated, regardless of how long you can do it for. Shall we have a quick look at the league table?
Yes, mate. No, I've still got it at 0-0.
Yeah, so have I. So maybe he's just an MK Dons fan. Oh, he might be, because he said Crawley got lucky against MK a little earlier in the chat, which I forgot to click on. So, yeah, maybe he's just revving up the boys, so to speak. Right, here we go. This is the league table as of 5 o'clock this past Saturday. So, yeah, Newport County, mate, and Harrogate still occupy the bottom 2, but it is now just 3 points between Newport and Barrow and just a single point between Harrogate and Barrow. The only thing in Barrow's favour is they've only played 32. Everyone that's immediately around them has played 33 or 34, but form and momentum is a massive thing, and you'd say that Harrogate have certainly got it at the moment, maybe more than Newport, and Barrow certainly haven't. But fear not, Barrow fans. Gills are arriving on Saturday, so your winless run will probably come to an end.
Is that where you're going, Barrow?
Yeah, 4:15 alarm must be absolutely mental.
Oh, you are mental, mate.
I know
Suck
I'm
the
mental.
punishment.
Absolutely. Right, 21st Crawley, 20th Bristol Rovers, and that's 30 points the Gas are on. So that's 6 points between the bottom 5 sides. There's then a 5-point gap to Cheltenham and Shrewsbury in 19th and 18th, respectively. Tranmere are on the same points in 17th. There's then another 6 points to Gills, who fall to 16th after a third defeat on the spin. They are replaced in 15th by Oldham, who climb above them. And then it's Fleetwood and Accrington Stanley who make up the rest of the bottom half. We then go into the top 12, and it goes Barnet, Grimsby Town, Colchester, Walsall, and Salford from 12th up to 8th. Playoff places are currently occupied between by Chesterfield, Crewe Alex, MK Dons, and Swindon. But don't forget that Walsall and MK Dons are currently playing at the moment. And the top 3 is Notts County in third on 61 points from 33 games. Cambridge on 63 from the same. And Bromley still top the pile with 65 points from their 33 games. Right, we've done surprise playoff potential. Who goes down if one of or both Accrington and Newport get out of it? Just quickly in the last minute or so. What do we think, mate?
Barrow.
So now we've said that, they're definitely beating us at the weekend. Cheers, mate.
Yeah. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, I can't disagree, but yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because Bristol Rovers at the moment are sort of doing what Swindon do, but to a lesser degree. They sort of lose 2, but then win a game to pull themselves away. Are we saying it's that bottom 5 now? It's 2 from that bottom 5. Cheltenham and upwards are safe.
I mean, we'd say it, yeah, but a couple of weeks it could change. I mean, we were looking at the league table with Newport and Harrogate. They were looking like they were caught adrift. Now they're right back on the tails. It's weird. It's the unpredictability. I mean, you get a bad run of 3 or 4, you're right in the mire. So I don't want to really write anyone off because, like you say, this league has just proven this season that we know absolutely nothing.
Very true. We just do this for
yeah, we just do it just to
get some shiggles.
Waste an hour on them.
Gillingham go down. Any reason for that? Just give us some context. He just shouted out, "Gillingham go down."
Yeah. You're not go down. You're at 41? Nah, no chance.
I think Reese from German Gills said if we win 1-0 on Saturday, we're the very definition of mid-table nothingness because we'd have played 33, won 11, drawn 11, lost 11, scored 41, conceded 41. We are the most vanilla team in the division at the moment, I think, unfortunately. Which is great if you've just come up and you're trying to consolidate, but when you're trying to improve on last season's 17th place finish, it's not great. I think we're done, mate. Loads of people got involved tonight, which we always appreciate. Over 30 of you have been consistently watching, so thanks for all the support. Like we always say, never goes unnoticed. If you can go and hit like, hit subscribe and all that jazz, it is greatly appreciated. Go and follow Lee's new X account. It is at A Grounds with 3 S's at the end. Yeah, he's already picked up, I think, about 1,100 followers since the weekend. So go and add some more to that count for him. He's trying to get back up to where he was originally. Won't happen immediately. Great start for him.
If you follow the other one, just unfollow it and block it because they're still tweeting waffle
Nonsense.
about
it. Yeah. If you can find the original one, obviously tweet, block, mute, all that type of thing, report, that'd be brilliant. Because it's not fair on people that use it properly. Yes, loads of action. We will be back next Monday for another full programme in the best division in England. But as always, he has been Lee, I've been Matt, and this has been the League 2 Hour.